Okay. Oh, hey, I just noticed I gotta fix that camera. It kind of went up a little bit, and you don't want to be seeing how messy my place is. So, yeah, let me shift that and move that. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, you know what it is? I was on it. So all that mess over there is me getting ready for my next trip. I'm actually getting together all of the stuff that I'm bringing with me and I'm going to work on there, which is all of the t-shirt quilt tops, backings, things like that, all the stuff I have finished. So yeah, ignore the mess. Okay, so Loki quilting and binding, take 2. So if you popped in on Monday, obviously I didn't put it up on YouTube. I was having some issues because my quilting foot that I like to use is missing. So I spent the stream looking, I started a little bit, spent the stream looking for it, and then I gave up. So I actually found another one of my quilting feet that I have never used before. So I wasn't comfortable doing it on camera, so I actually made a sandwich. Whenever you want to practice a skill for quilting, quilt sandwiches are a great way to do it. What they are is just 2 pieces of fabric pinned together and with a piece of the batting that you're going to be using. I prefer when I make quilt sandwiches to use the same fabric that I'm going to be using on my actual quilt. In this case, I just grabbed 2 pieces because I wanted practice on this. So I was playing with the tension, I was playing with the movement, I was playing with all sorts of things. And I did get it finished. So that was my sandwich. I did start quilting this, but I'm going to repeat what I did on Monday just to show you. Basically, I just went around the edges in order to lock it in place. And the reason why I go around the edges when I do my quilting is I want to make sure that this fabric right here doesn't get caught, because I have a horrible habit for some reason of catching the backing fabric folded underneath. Yeah. And I actually had to completely take apart a quilt one time because I caught it so far I couldn't repair it. So yeah. So I do this now to protect myself. So I'm using, in today's quilt, I'm using the Alex Anderson Masterpiece by Superior. It is a good thread that I really like for stitching and for quilting. Alright, so quilting. Whenever you quilt something, make sure you have correct posture. Shoulders back. You'll see me actually rolling my shoulders sometimes, and that's reminding me to have the correct posture. Make sure you have a nice chair. I love this chair. This is my Aero sewing chair. It has the nice support right here for my back. It's nice and stiff. It doesn't move at all. It's not one of the regular office chairs, so it gives me the back support I need. It's also a little bit comfy. And for me, it's the perfect height. I'm short, and it's hard for me to get a perfect 90 degree on my feet. This chair's perfect for me. So I absolutely love it. So 90 degree underneath here. So you notice how my legs here are 90 degrees. You also want 90 degrees here. So this preferably is up like this, with the shoulders back. And then as you quilt. I use quilting gloves. Quilting gloves are fantastic because they help grip the quilt. So they actually have a grippiness on there, so you actually can take the quilt and move it around, and it doesn't move anywhere. I think that's it. I also pre-wind a bunch of my bobbins, and that actually saves me time while I'm quilting, so I'm not having to worry about stopping what I'm doing, winding a bobbin, taking and doing everything. Yeah, it's just easier. Another problem I realized I was having is the thread on Monday. If you catch it on Twitch before it goes away, because I'm not putting it on YouTube. The thread I had up here was actually running low, and it was far enough to where it was actually catching on the spool. That happens. So if you have issues with your thread, sometimes it may just be time to pitch it and get another one, or use it for hand quilting or hand sewing or something else. It may not be the right thing to throw through the machine. So there's all sorts of different things that are picky with machines. So I also changed my needle. So let's see how this works. So shoulders back, straight up. Oops, I did not drop my presser foot or set it to the right tension. There we go. Great. Now, I've gone far enough. I'm going to check the tension on the other side just to make sure it's good. Yeah, that looks good. Great. This is going to work. Fantastic. This already looks so much better than what I did on Monday. Yep. Okay. Fantastic. So the rest of them is good. Okay. Couple things to keep in mind as you're quilting. I try to avoid eyes, the actual face area of my quilts. Almost all my quilts have a character on there, so I avoid this area because I learned the hard way that if you do a funky thing, it makes their eye look weird or their mustache look weird or things like that, unless you've built it into your quilt pattern. For the Loki inspired quilt, I'm just going to do a general meander. So I'm just moving all around, kind of like a wavy jigsaw piece, just kind of hanging out. Oh, hey Amber, how are you? Oh, and thank you. Oh, so does it tell you that I'm an affiliate? Oh, see, I haven't even said that on the Twitch yet. Does it tell you that I'm an affiliate now? Yay! I got cheers. Look, and look at the upper left-hand corner. That's fantastic. Sorry, I love it. Thanks, Amber. Oh, it's awesome. Okay, you just made my entire day. I am so happy because I set it all up that way. So yeah, so for those of you that don't know what Amber's talking about, Twitch has a couple of programs where, oh yeah, it's on the bottom right, that's true. So Twitch has a couple of programs that they have in place where if you stream a certain amount of time, if you have a certain amount of followers, and if they review your videos and they like what you do, there's two different programs. You can... I don't remember what the highest level tier is, but I'm not that yet because I don't have enough subscribers, I don't have enough followers or things like that. At the high tier, you can actually get subscribers, where you pay a certain amount and you get their videos and you get special things, you get all sorts of cool things. I'm not that yet. I am an affiliate. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. What that means is that the little button in the bottom right of the chat, if you're in my chat, you can't see it on the actual stream, but in the chat, you see the little tiny bit symbol. It's like a little triangle. So if you click on that, you can give me little bits. So Amber sent me, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Thank you for the 14 bits. I appreciate it. And it's just a cool little thing. So in the upper left-hand corner where I've got my follows, my donations, my things like that, the bits will pop up there as well. So, yay. I'm excited. Thank you. Now I'm all happy. Okay, back to quilting. See, now I lost my train of thought. Ignore the face. I'm doing a meander. Yeah, I think that's it. So, oh, Amber, wait until you see what I'm going to do for the binding. I have something new for binding I'm so excited about that I got when I was at Spring Market. So, yay. Okay, so they get this one quilted. See? And if I have time, if I get Loki quilted and bound, and I still have time before I have to stop streaming, I have finished my Catan top, and I have got it pinned and ready to be quilted. And I'm going to be using invisible thread. So I will show you guys how that works. Because I think that I can get this all done in enough time to work on Catan. Oh, hi, Stitch. How are you? Oh, and thank you very much for the compliment on Loki. I appreciate it. Now watch, I'm going to sew my finger because I'm looking at chat, and I'm not supposed to be looking at chat whenever I'm actually quilting. Alright, now this spot right here, this blue spot, this is the staff So I'm actually going to completely avoid this spot in my quilting because I want it to pop and stand out whenever you can see the entire quilt. Yeah, no, I'm super, super excited. Oh, tomorrow, special daytime stream from 1 to 4. I initially was going to do t-shirt quilts, but I've changed my mind because I have got such a jam-packed schedule over the next few months. I'm going to work on the next pattern in the series. I can't tell you what it is, but I'm super excited about it. It's not like anything else I have. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. So, yay, I'm excited. Yeah, sewing my finger would not be good. Oops. Yeah, so with this new quilting foot, I'm not used to how big it is compared to my other one, was very tiny. So I just got the back of it caught in the pin right there. Let me see. Yeah, you can't see it in the camera. It's too bright. So yeah, so I've got to move that around. Eh. There we go. It still looks good. Now you notice when I was talking about... Oh, my thread broke. Alright, so I'm going to stand right here and finish my thought. So you notice how I was talking about posture, about standing, about sitting straight up, putting your shoulders back when you quilt. If you look at my back right here, you'll see I'm not against the chair. I'm actually leaning forward a little bit, but I'm not doing this. I'm not hunching over. So as I'm leaning forward, my shoulders are up, and I've got a perfectly straight back. That's important. Don't want to hurt your back. Alright, so what I did whenever the thread broke, I actually cut the bottom thread as well. Oh, let's do that. Now, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to... Why is this doing that? Oh, I see. It really, really broke. I'm just trying to pull that top thread through and having it come through the back. And I'm trying to pick it out. Alright, that's not working on that one. Let me get my tweezers. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling. There we go. Alright, to the back. Alright, now I'm going to actually unpick this enough. Now, what I was saying is that traditional quilting says you don't have to do what I'm going to do. All you have to do is make sure it is locked and secured in place. So if I were to continue quilting and just go over this spot, it'd be perfectly fine. I'm paranoid about my stitches coming out though. So I actually knot it. No, I have not seen Wonder Woman yet. I actually am planning on seeing her on Saturday. I haven't had time. We didn't go this past weekend because my husband had a ball tournament and I had an event for one of the rescue organizations on Saturday. So my plan is to see her on this Saturday. I told my husband that's all I want for my birthday, is I want to go see Wonder Woman. He says, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm reading all of the things about it, and especially, like, I didn't realize that, I can't think of her name, Princess Buttercup. I didn't realize that she was in the movie, and she is the most amazing, badass woman that she is. Yeah, no, I cannot wait to see it. Okay, so what I did is I knotted that, and I've got just a little bit of tails there, just to make sure it gets super locked in there. And I'm actually going to loosen up my top tension a little bit, because I think that may have caused the thread to break. Alright, try this again. Alright, so the thread broke here. So, whenever I start, I always start off and then I move in. And then I have to move over and secure that in there. There we are, and then I can keep going. Yeah, my upper tension was definitely a little bit too much. Now remember, I don't want to sew over this blue area, so I'm just going to kind of skirt it a little bit and have it like waves almost coming out of it. Now, as I look through, I'm coming down this way. The face is here, so I want to make sure with this row coming back. Oops. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Let's lock this. Okay. Whenever I'm coming back this way, I want to make sure I'm going to avoid this area. So I have to come down far enough so that I can avoid that. Oh man, it broke again. Alright, that tells me I got the wrong needle. Alright, let's go higher. So this is the needle that they said to use with the thread, which is an 80-12, although I'm quilting. So I really want to make sure that I do a better one. So I should use the quilting needles. Quilting needles. Okay, so I don't want to go 75-11. I want to go higher. Universal. I have too many needles and I am not complaining. I love my needles. Is it that one? Nope, that's my jeans needle. I'm just going to take them all out. So I'm going to start going through them all. Quilting. Nope, that's the 75-10. Universal. Quilting. 90. That's it, right there. So, let me use one of these babies. And of course, these are my needles that I got from Schmetz, the chrome. So you cannot get these at sewing stores, Joann's, places like that. You can only get the chrome ones at sewing and quilting stores. They are worth it. They are freaking amazing, and I love them so much. They're actually not that much, they're not much difference in price point. It's just a matter of where you can find them. Okay, oh, forgot to tie it. Yeah, I can't wait until I get my old quilting foot back. I just need to find it again. I think I may just order another one online. Okay, so let me get this tied. And tomorrow is nail day because my nails are way too long and it's hard for me to tie knots. Come on. It doesn't help that this thread is a little frayed. I like nail day. I especially like nail day because my nail salon is next to my favorite sushi place. So I have sushi for lunch on nail days. So I'm gonna go for nails, have sushi, come back, and do a stream. So I'll have nice pretty nails when the stream starts. Alright, so this broken one is right there. So I'm gonna start off to the side. Now, it may also be breaking because I may be moving way too fast and putting strain on the thread. So, in case that's the problem as well, I'm going to slow down a little bit. No, that sucks. I didn't have that needle in there all the way. Let's see if I can fix this. I have never had that happen before. There we go. Haha! Look at that. Alright, let's tighten this baby up with a... Oh, where is my... Here it is. Alright, I am tightening this. Alright, that's not happening again. I've never had that happen. I probably just wasn't paying attention and didn't tighten it. But as you see, no harm done. So, like I said, in my actual quilting, I'm moving slower. Okay, I'm just making sure that I did secure the edges, and I did. Oops. Gotta fix my pedal. I have to keep remembering how big this foot is compared to the one that I normally use. Oh, Twitch levels, partner. That's the one I was thinking of. So I'm not a partner, but I am an affiliate. So I can't accept subscriptions yet, but I can accept the bits. Which are cool. Alright, so here's his little face, his little cute face. So I'm just going to avoid that area. All I did there was shift the quilt in order to make it easier for me to quilt. So if you watch my quilting days, you'll notice I have the same pattern. I go down along the top, I have a second row along the bottom, finish off the side. The next row I do it this way, I go halfway in, and then back, and then I go along the bottom, and then I do the other side. And that's because a lot of times whenever I'm quilting, I may have the TV on, I may have something else going on, because I do this almost the same thing. It's almost like second nature. Now, for things like whenever I quilt the Catan quilt, oh, it broke again. Yep, I was definitely going too fast. That's the problem. So when I quilt the Catan quilt, I will pay 100% attention because it's not something I've done before. And it's not a quilting that I've done. Well, you get lots of you get lots of experience watching me fix my thread breaks. Yeah, and again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to pick this out and tie it in a knot and do all that. All you have to do is make sure it's anchored. But, like I said, I'm paranoid. Especially because I sell my quilts, I am super, super paranoid that the stitching is going to come out. I even have a 1-year guarantee where I give my quilt spiel, where I say if the quilting comes out, it'll happen within a year, and it means I did something wrong. I actually will pay to have the quilt sent to me, I will fix it, and then send it back. It's never happened, but I always give the spiel, and I always talk about it because it's handmade, and I could make mistakes. When I first started quilting, I had the hardest time with thread breaking. I had no clue why it would break, what it would do. So a lot of it's just from experience. Just learning about how thread works, how tension works, how needles work, the speed that you can go. There's all sorts of factors that go into quilting and why thread breaks. And again, I've never used this foot before. This foot is definitely different. It has a different feel than the one I'm used to. I am almost definitely going to buy a replacement for the one that's been lost. I just did that. I didn't check the bobbin. All right. Here comes another one. Come here. That is the only thing that this machine, you know what, I shouldn't say it doesn't have, I should check the menu. Nope, it doesn't have it. Okay, so that's the only thing that this machine doesn't have, is it doesn't tell me when my bobbin thread's getting low. I've got to look at it. Now, my other machine, my combo embroidery quilting machine that I use mostly for embroidery, that hacks it on there, and it tells you when the bobbin thread's low. And that's super important in an embroidery machine because you don't want it to keep on embroidering when there's no bobbin thread. Because I'll set it and I'll walk away, I'll go someplace. Alright, so even though my thread ran out right here, that's enough space for me to work on the bottom. So I'm just going to start it here. I don't know if the camera picked that up or not, but there was a piece of thread on the quilt, and I just quilted right over top of it. I didn't care. That's going to come right out. All you have to do is pull that, and it comes right off. So if you have thread or, you know, random little things on your quilt, it's not the end of the world if you quilt over it. Oh, if you haven't already commented, Monday was pattern release day. So that means I am giving away a pattern for the Mega Android. So if you haven't already commented on my Facebook post, make sure you go do that. Now, if you're quilting something for long periods of time, make sure you take breaks. It is super important that you do not cause any undue strain on your back or your shoulders. I will actually, because whenever I quilt a lap quilt, it doesn't take me that long. So I will actually stand and stretch and take the pins out as soon as I'm done with it, and that actually gives me a break before I start the next one, when I have my quilting days. I am going to have them at AwesomeCon. Oh, and Stitch. So, and I was initially doing the t-shirt quilts tomorrow. I'm bumping that to, I'm doing a Friday, Saturday, one or the other or both stream, because I'm doing the next pattern tomorrow because I want to get it done before AwesomeCon. But yes, I'm going to have all of my kits, including the Mega Android that was just released. I will have this Loki quilt there, but I won't have kits because the pattern is not released yet. This pattern is being released in August. So every 2 months. I'm actually super excited for the one in October that I'm working on tomorrow. But they only required it. Yeah, oh yeah, a 1/4 inch seam. That's all you have to. You have to know how to do a 1/4 inch seam, and you have to be able to cut the fabric. Whether you use a fabric cutter or a rotary cutter, you'd have to be able to cut the fabric. And the kits is, oh yeah, I knew what you meant. The kits, I actually do the first step, and I cut the strips for you. So the strips are already cut. So really the only cutting you're doing is once you already sew those strips together. And worst case, if you really can't figure out a fabric cutter or a rotary cutter, you can use scissors. I don't suggest it. Alright. Where did I put my... Oh, I put them in my basket. So at the beginning of the stream, my camera was pointed, and you saw a basket for the stuff that's coming with me when I'm leaving. I put my pins away already. Alright, let me take my pins out. Oh yeah. No, if she sews cosplay, she's got a rotary cutter or a fabric cutter. She's got one of those. And, oh, I have fantastic news. So, I was at my husband's ball game, his tournament over the weekend, and I'm sitting there trying, I actually was doing some hand sewing, some flowers, English paper piecing flowers, and then I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what, while I'm sitting here, let me research streaming from my phone on Twitch. So I did a whole bunch of research, and I figured it out. So I can now stream from my phone. So what that means is I can stream at conventions. Now, I don't know if I'm going to stream it all at AwesomeCon. I haven't decided about that yet. But I am definitely streaming from Too Many Games, because Too Many Games is a very online community video game focused convention. It's amazing. I love that convention. I have so much fun there. So I am definitely going to Twitch stream from Too Many Games, which is just freaking amazing. So I'm planning on setting up the tripod and camera while I am doing my setup for Too Many Games. Because my setup for AwesomeCon is not going to be as intense or huge as my other ones because I'm in the Artist Alley. I've got a nice big vendor booth for the next weekend at Too Many Games. So I think setup is Thursday night. So not tomorrow. So 2 weeks from tomorrow is when I'll be doing it. No, I actually haven't heard back from TwitchCon. They were supposed to send me a message in May. So I haven't heard anything, so I've sent them another email asking, hey, so what's going on? You're going to send me some info, and I haven't heard anything. Unfortunately, that's what happens a lot of times with conventions, is you'll send an email with your initial, hey, I'm interested in doing your convention. What do you think? And they go, oh, that's fantastic. Yes, awesome. Yay. Okay, we'll get you some more information at X time. And then they don't, because they get wrapped up with other things, or they forget about it, or they do stuff. And then by the time they see a follow-up email, they're like, oh, it's too late now. So, that's okay. My husband's home from work, can you tell? I'm looking at colors, and I'm like, oh, I think I got the green. Sorry, I'm looking ahead to the binding, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so super excited. Can't wait to show you what I'm gonna do. Come on. There we go. Oh, it does say that. I'm like, on that one it says Top Cheer by Sunny Amber. I'm like, where is it? But I do see that on there. That's awesome. See, so I didn't have to, because that was the first cheer that I've gotten. I didn't have to count all the little bits. I could have just looked up and seen the number 14. That's pretty cool. Alright, I think I've got all of the pins out. Normally, after I get all the pins out, I just like to give it a once over just to make sure. Yep. Okay. And scissors. My favorite. For more scissors. I love these things. If you check out the 4 More... Oh, you know what? I still haven't talked about it yet. If you check out the For More website, I am actually on there now. Apparently, I'm an expert. I don't think I'm an expert. But it's still pretty cool. I just like to make comic book and video game quilts. And encourage the world to sew and quilt. Oh, and I am hopefully I'll get all the t-shirt quilts done before I leave, but I'm definitely going to do the ones that I've got done, even if I don't have them all done. I will be doing a Twitch stream from my parents' house. Sorry, I'm thinking. From my parents' house, actually showing you how I do all of my sandwiching. I'm thinking I'm going to do it... Thanks, Amber. I'm thinking I'm going to do it next Wednesday or Thursday. Because Tuesday's my birthday, so I'm probably going to go out to dinner with my mother. So I'm thinking Wednesday or Thursday. Now, I've got to be... Thanks, Stitch. I've got to be careful with the camera shots when I do my pinning. Because how you pin a quilt is how I pin quilts, there's tons of different methods. As I take the backing and I tape it to the ground. I then lay the batting over top of it. And then put the top on and smooth it all out. And then, while I constantly smooth and make sure there's no wrinkles, I pin it. As you saw, I just took all the pins out. So, yeah, lots of bending over. And as Jordan would call them, I'm not a jiggler, so I have to make sure that all the camera shots are appropriate. There we go. All right. I'm super excited. Now, my label. Normally, at this point, I put the binding on and then I put the label on there and things like that. I no longer put my label on with the binding. I do it completely after, and I'll show you after I do the binding why I do that. I am going to remove some hair though before I get started on the binding. Now after I sew the binding on and I'm getting ready to do the next step, I'll move this camera over there so that you can see everything on the table, and then I will move it back. That's one of the reasons why the angle is up high like this, because I wanted you to be able to see my posture and not just the quilting, but also it's easier. I don't have to, undo these legs or anything. I can just take it and move it over there. So, all right. You want to see my cool binding thing? This is pre-made binding by the roll. Binding that's already made. I no longer have to make binding. How freaking cool is this? So it's Moda. So it's Moda bias. So it's on the bias. So if you are a cosplayer, if you're a sewer, if you use bias, yeah, bias by the roll. So obviously I get in bulk, so I buy the whole rolls. But there are some stores, if your local quilting and sewing store carries Moda, ask them for this. They can now buy this. It's a new thing. It is so freaking cool. Now, here's the coolest thing. It doesn't just come in black. I bought the entire marble line because, so Loki is, this fabric here is the marbles. It's the Moda marbles. Oh yeah, it's going to save me a ton of time. I'm so freaking excited. Oops, there's the pin. I don't want to do that. Maybe stick the pin back in there before I lose it. Because you want to make sure that pin is in there so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, so opinions. Okay? Picture Loki on the left-hand side there, okay? How should I frame him? Normally I do black. So I can frame him in the black, but... And I looked over and I saw this, and I think it's the same color. It is. There's the green. Let's see. No, they don't have the gold. Oh, that's weird. Losing chat. Alright, they don't have the tan. What about the gray? Which gray? Oh, and it's the gray. That's the same gray. So these are the colors in Loki. So I've got black, I've got green, I've got gray. So, I know, right? Isn't it epic? It is so freaking, yeah, seriously, I am so blown away whenever I saw it in the catalog. I'm like, and I went over and I'm looking at it, I'm like, are you kidding? Binding by the yard? And I can just get the whole freaking roll? Yeah, so I'm thinking black. Because each one is going to give it a different feeling. I'm looking at in the camera. I'm looking at the colors. Yeah, the black. Yep, black's gonna be best. Okay. But no, I bought the whole line. I got every color that they have available in the binding. And I was just like, no, it's, yeah. I have a nice huge bill waiting for me. So, I don't have to pre-cut this. You know how if you watch me do my binding ones in the past, when I get to the end I have all that extra that I cut and I pitch? Yeah, because I have the whole roll. I don't have to worry about that. I'm so excited. Alright, let's see how this works. It's the first time. Oh, I have to switch machines. I forgot about that. Because I changed the bobbin case, and I made a whole bunch of adjustments, and I was doing a bunch of things. So, I am only going to be using this machine for quilting, and quilting only. Until I get that other foot back. Because I don't want to mess up all the work that I just did. And especially because I'm going to be doing another quilt, hopefully, on Twitch today. So, let's get the cheap machine out. Now, you notice how my machine is off. For safety, always, always, always turn your machine off until you're ready to go. Okay, so one, there we go. And because I decided to stick with black, I don't have to wind any more bobbins. I already have bobbins wound. Because I have black bobbins. Got a whole bunch of thread and crap all stuck in there. Come on. I can't find the end of that one. I've got another one. There we go. And black. Where is my thread? Alright, I guess I put it away. I actually did what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, because it's right here. I did what I was supposed to do and actually put it away. Can you believe that? There we go. All right. I don't need the gloves. All right, where is the bottom? Now, whenever I put binding on quilts, And this is just my personal preference, I always start in the middle on the bottom. Normally, if you make your own binding, you have to worry about where the seams are, because you never, ever, ever want a seam on a corner. It's bulky, it's horrible, it's a pain in the butt to sew through, it's ridiculous. Guess what I don't have to worry about with this? Sorry. I know, I'm so excited. I can't, yeah. Alright. Now I gotta figure out what's the best way to do this. I'm thinking if I hold it here in my legs, oops, nope, it fell. That's not gonna work. Maybe I should make some kind of machine that'll hold it right here so I can just kind of like have it off the spool. Yeah. I don't have anything that'll work in the meantime. Oh, I might. This is a special contraption that allows you to use large spools of thread so it sits on the side. I actually use it to wind down my bobbins. Yeah, that works. I'm excited. Oh, even better. Wait. I don't think this'll... Nope, it's not big enough. That's okay. All right. Necessity is the mother of all invention. All right, where is the middle? Right here. So, whenever you do your binding, that doesn't block it in there. No, okay. Let me move it over a little bit. So, whenever you do your binding, there's a couple of ways to do it. I actually sew down a little bit right here. Because I do the fold and tuck method of binding. I don't do, I don't measure it at the end or any of that stuff. Okay. And then, so my sewing stopped there, so I'm going to pick it up right there. Now, this is not going to be for every single one of my quilts. This is only going to be for I shouldn't say the good ones. This is only going to be for pieced quilts. My panel quilts that I just kind of spit out, I use regular solid black. I use Kona right now, although I'm going to switch to the Bella Solids from Moda because I actually like them just a little bit better. So I want to make sure, I don't want to use the marbles for the binding. I think I'll just use the regular Bella Solids. They don't have the solids that I can see in the pre-made binding. Although I've got to look at it. I got to pay my bill before I buy more. So, but I definitely wanted the marbles. And they had a special. I actually have a stand back here that holds them all. It's pretty cool. Alright, so with binding, this is my opening here. So my opening is actually lining up with the edge of the quilt. And I'm sewing it with a 1/4 inch seam. Now I'm stopping about a 1/4 inch from the edge, and I'm going to back it up a little bit just to kind of really nail it in there. And then cut your thread. And let's do on the other side. So whenever you're on this corner here, what you want to do is it's moving this way. You want it to move that way. So what you do is you take this, you fold it away from where you're going to go. Oops, let me move my hand so you can actually see what I'm doing. Put your fingers so you actually crease that right there, and then fold it towards. So I'll do that again. So this way, you're folding it away, so you actually have a 45-degree angle right there. Hold that and fold it towards, and then push it down. So underneath of this right here, I can feel a 45-degree bump. So this flap right here, if you pick it up, you can actually see there's fabric on both sides of it. And then once you've got that, turn it, start quilting about 1/4 inch from the end, and sew through. This is working so great. I don't have to build anything or get anything. Seriously, like, today's the best stream ever. Because I'm tickled pink. Because I get bits. I got all the bit stuff, which is super cool. And then I've got my new binding. Seriously, for the past 2 weeks, I have been itching to do this, to play with this. I was super, super upset whenever I couldn't find my stuff on Monday to do my stream then. This is so super cool. Oh, I like that! Quilting cheat codes engaged. It's the up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA. Start. Select start. Sorry. It's funny, I was talking to my husband the other day about when we were kids, and if you wanted to try to figure out any cheat codes or anything else, you either had to get Nintendo Power, or you figured it out, or a friend figured it out. Like, there was no going online, there was no researching, there was no, it was so hard. Like, I didn't know about the Contour code until I was in my 20s. Because that's when the internet came out. And the corner, the folding for the corner, for the binding, you just do that with each corner. Like, seriously, anything that can make my life easier is great. And the best part of it, the cost for the binding by the roll was not that much more than just buying the fabric. It's ridiculously cheap in price from what I would be willing to normally pay for it. I think retail on it is like $6 a yard or $5 a yard. So it's, yeah, it's... For the time savings and the convenience, yeah, that's pretty amazing. Alright, so I forgot to show you the last part, but I'll show you again here. So you've got the binding here, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it away from the quilt, and then holding it down, it's at a 45-degree angle, and then I'm going to move it towards it. Now, the next time I have a binding day, I will have the camera right here so you can actually see a lot closer. Or you can go back and look at some of the other videos I've got on YouTube for binding days if you want to see the closer shots. Like, seriously, and this is so much easier, not just in that it's already made and I don't have to worry about it, but having it on the roll is better. So the big thing at Spring Market that I didn't get were binding buttons. Like little people that you wrap your binding around so it's not all over the place. Because, yeah, it's a pain in the rear. But I had already discovered the binding by the roll, and I'm like, I don't need a binding buddy. I've got a whole roll. Oh, hi, Persimmon. Okay, so I did not find the foot. Yeah, that one that I put on there that I found in my other machine, I used that one. So I spent the past 2 days, I actually showed this at the beginning, but I'm going to show it again. I made a quilt sandwich in order to test out, I know it's hard to see on there, oh, there we go, that's a good angle, to test out the thread and to test out the foot. And I actually played with it over the last 2 days and made sure that it was good, and then I quilted it. So now I'm putting my binding on. I still don't like it. I think it's because I'm not used to it. So I'm still going to get another foot like the one I lost. Yeah, I know. And that's what happens, right? The moment that I buy a new one, yeah, it's going to turn up. Although I realized today, I really need to clean my studio. It's to the point where I'm kind of like, I've trapped myself in. Like, I got such a nice big space, but I've trapped myself in. And I've got to step over things to get over here. Because I spend my whole day in this little space right here, I don't notice that I put things around myself until I have problems. Oh, another thing I love about this
pre-done bias tape is I don't have to worry about any hair being on it. Because you know how when I used to do the binding myself, I'd have to sit and clear all the hair away from the binding as I'm putting it on there. Yeah, it's right on the roll. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I'm at the end. So you notice here is the beginning part. So what I do is right here is where, we trim that. Right there is where I started. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut right before that spot. So let's cut right there. Okay? Goodbye, binding. I love you. Oh, I love you, binding. Okay. Now I'm going to sew. So right here, you see this difference? Now there's a couple of ways to do this. Remember I said there's a few ways that you can put binding on. The correct way of doing it is to sew these together at a nice seam and make sure it's perfectly aligned. Yeah, I don't do that. It takes way too much time. Oh yeah. Oh, so many colors. Oh, persimmon. Oh, just wait until if you back up and watch when I pulled it all out and it's I didn't actually show you all the colors. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different colors of binding I have. Okay. All right, back to so back to here. I've got, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it all the way up to right here and stop. So right after where my finger is, my finger touched it, so I'm stopping. So I'm going to take this right here. Now this is why I sew down the bottom one so it doesn't move while I'm doing it. I'm doing the tuck method. So I'm taking this, I'm actually tucking it in. Oh crap. I messed that up. You know what I did? I was supposed to fold this over to make sure it was a nice seam. Alright, so let me go do that. Great little shop of... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Persimmon, so is the shop that you went to, do they have the Moda Marbles binding, the pre-done binding? I'm waiting for the iron to warm up. You know what? It's probably the Moda, because that's the only one that I know of. So they have the marbles and they have the grunge in the binding. You know what? While I'm waiting for that to warm up, do I have my Moda book still? Is it still over here? Oh, nope, it's over there. Oh, it's in the... This? Oh, no, it's right here. Oh, is this all the fabrics? Yes. Yep, those are the fabrics. Those are the fabrics. They would... Oh, here we go. Haha! So they have grunge, and it's 40 yards on a roll. They've got... Oh, they do have the solids. Ooh. So I got this. I got the Moda Marbles assortment, but they also have a solids too. Ooh, I can get solids. I'm probably gonna buy some solids. Oh, and apparently it's $3 retail yard. I thought it was a good deal at $5. It's $3. Yeah, so it's probably the Bella. It's by Moda. It's the Bella solids. So Bella made the so Moda in the binding, they make solids, they make grunge, and then they make marble. So they have all 3 of those. And this is hard to do once it's all sewn. But I am doing it. Haha. There we go. Okay, so what I did is I folded this over. Can you see in the camera? Just a little bit. So I folded it over, so it's not going to have a raw edge, because that would not be good. So now that that is done, let me tuck that in there. And pick up where I left off. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Like that's one of the things the one thing I didn't like about quilting was making binding. And now I don't have to worry about it. So, okay, binding is on. So, I'm going to switch all of this over. I just made a mess over here looking for that stuff. So, close your eyes. I'm moving this camera. And I don't want to make anyone sick. Okay, and turn. Aha. There we go. No, that's crooked. Yeah, that's good. Fantastic. No, I didn't turn it all the way around so you could see all of that mess. I made sure it was like that. No, I didn't want to make anyone sick. Oh, this is the Catan. My Catan quilt. Let me get that off. Actually, I can shift that over. That's what I'm doing next. All right. So, Loki. All right, first thing I do, where
did I put my roller? I didn't put it back. Did I drop it? So, oh, I put it over here. All right, Persimmon. Miss Eagle Eyes. What did you see? Whenever you roll your fabric, so whenever you actually get all your hair off, it's always better to get the hair and dirt and stuff off of this side first. Here, is this gonna... Okay, it doesn't cause it too much of an issue. I've got to turn that on so I can really see the hair and the dust and the dirt. This is my daylight lamp. It messes, as you see, it's so bright and so good, it messes with those lights. But it is amazing to see. I can see everything. Okay, so you always want to do this side first, because if you were to do this side first and then fold it over, you may get some hair and dust and dirt on it. Well, I mean, you're the one that said you had eagle eyes. No. I'm teasing. Now, does anyone remember why it is important that we remove all dirt, dust, and hair from where the binding is going to be folded over? Because it is super, super important that you do this. If you do not do this, I hope you are not giving your quilt to somebody else. Either no one remembers, or they're taking a while to type. Oh, wait a minute. So, on the corner, pop up the corner for whenever you start. I'm not doing the corner first, I'm leaving that for last. So I'm going to start here. You actually want to pull the bottom binding. Doesn't get trapped inside back. Exactly. See, Persimmon's on it. Yeah, no, it is, because if you don't remove it now, it's going to be in here forever. And if someone has an allergy, not just to animals, but to dust. So I know there's lots of people I know that have dust allergies. That's why I don't just say hair, I say hair, dust, and dirt. So you got to get it all out of there or it's permanently in there. So, okay, so you're going to pull this, and no, you don't want to, the tighter you pull it, the tighter the binding is going to be. So you don't want to pull it super tight. Just make sure it's nice and snug, and then fold it over. I did get the clips. Oh, I put them in my big bag. That's right. They're in my bag over there. I did get those clips, Persimmon, that you were talking about. But I don't know. On the lap size quilts, I just think they're too bulky, and I was having problems. I may try them on the Catan quilt. I think on a smaller quilt it may be better. And it may also just be that I'm set in my ways and there's something about pinning that I'm used to and I can move fast at. I just don't like how whenever I sew it, I get scratch marks up and down my arms. It looks like I've been attacked by a cat. Oh, and I don't know if I've told Amber and Stitch, because I just mentioned it on a stream last week. I have been picked up by a physical pattern manufacturer. So, what does that mean? You can get my patterns online, mailed to you in a physical form. So right now, because I live in Canada and I travel way too much for comic and video game conventions, speaking of, I may be adding one in Nashville. Because I travel so much and I do all that, I cannot mail out physical patterns. So you can only get my patterns right now through online as a digital download. So I talked to them today, and they are launching next Monday. So I think my store will be up and ready to go next Monday. And of course, if you want your local store, your local quilt or sewing store to carry them, they can now order them wholesale through that site as well. So they just have to provide their wholesale ID number, and they can get them. All right, where did I put? There it is. So it's not just for the public. Now on my website, I do have a section dedicated to sewing and quilt stores that carry my patterns. So if you want a physical pattern, I always encourage you, go to one of those stores and purchase your patterns from them. It'll be the same price. And you can actually get them in person. Depending upon the store, I may actually teach classes there as well. In my travels, as I go around, if I'm in the area of a store that carries my patterns, I always offer to pop in and teach a class. So that's another benefit. So always support local stores when you can. There's one little piece of hair that's being stubborn. I think it's one of my hairs. There we go. Now, on the corner. Now you notice how I pinned it all the way up to here. In fact, let me move this up a little bit so you can see it better. So I pinned it. Oh, no, it doesn't make a difference. I pinned it all the way up to here. How you do your corner. So I always pull a little, tuck that in, and then here I make sure that corner's popped all the way out, so I put my finger in there to pop that out, and then you just fold one side in and fold the other side in. So now you have a 45-degree angle on your corner. And I know my cameras are not the best shots at it. Fons and Porter has got a really, really good instructional video on how to do binding on the corners. So if you need help doing your corner binding, check the Fons and Porter video. It's a really good one. If you just Google Fons and Porter binding, it pops right up. Alright, now, right here is my seam. I think. Nope. No, I lied. I'm at the top. Alright, never mind. Normally I start from the other side. I didn't realize I started from the opposite side this time. Now you notice how when I get to the end, I'm still checking for hair, here we go. When I get to the end, I pop the corner, and that's just in preparation for getting there. It just makes it a little easier when I have the other side. Okay. And I always move the quilt
I was cutting more flowers for my Catan class, for my English paper piecing classes at Gen Con. There we go. So I always shift it and move it, so it is the path of least resistance, and I am working on the area that I want to work on. Now it is time to change this. Now the problem I run into sometimes as well is sometimes the batting will actually come up through your fabric. So be aware if you're pulling at it that you're pulling the thread, the dirt and the dust, you know, little things like that, and you're not actually pulling the batting up through there. Yeah, I am so looking forward to Gen Con. I cannot wait. It is one of my favorite conventions every year. And of course this year I'm teaching the paper piecing classes. So the Catan quilts and then the basic paper piecing. Last year I brought my bank of sewing machines and I taught basic sewing classes on how to make dice bags and throw pillows. This year I decided it is too much of a pain in the rear to deal with sewing machines, so I am just going to do some hand quilting. Alright, last side. Now, if you're making a quilt for yourself, and you absolutely know that no one else is ever going to use it, you don't have to worry about this step of getting rid of all the hair, dust, and dirt. But I always advise it anyways, because chances are you're going to pass your quilt down, and if you pass it through your family and you actually pass it down to your kids, a niece and nephew, a friend, someone else, hopefully it's going to last a long time, and you never know if that person who then gets it is going to have any allergies.
And again, it doesn't matter if you have a house with no cats and dogs. People are still allergic to dust. There we go. Nope, my husband's back home. He left to go take Jordan to rugby practice. So she's decided to join the summer rugby team. Okay, now, at this point, this is my seam area on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this, I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to pin right in the middle of it. Now, you see how close that is to that pin? I'm going to do one super close on the other side, because I'm going to make sure that this baby is not going anywhere. You can never have too many pins. Let me shift this down for the last corner. There we go. That looks good. Now, for all the corners, I flipped it to the other side as well to make sure that I had that. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera back again. So close your eyes. Let me turn that off. Ignore all the mess back there. There we go. My nice messy room, right? I told you I had to clean it. Alright, so I'm going to change. This was my 1/4 inch piecing foot with the guide. I'm going to change it to the J foot. And the very first stitch that anyone normally learns whenever they first learn to quilt is the stitch in the ditch. And that's what we are going to do. So, I'm going to stitch in the ditch. So I'm going to sew right along the edge here with black thread. Now I'm using black thread, so if I accidentally slip over into the binding, you're not going to notice the mistake. Come on, get in there. There we go.
Now you notice how I'm constantly moving this quilt and making sure I've got a nice straight line? It's the same thing for whenever I'm doing my, my actual quilting. I'm making sure I have a flat surface. Because if it's crooked at all, it's not going to give me a nice even stitch. There we go. Now when it gets to the corner, I pull my pin out there. And you have nothing that's going to pull it through. So I talk a lot about the chaining method of whenever you do your sewing and your quilting. Whenever you're putting binding on, there's nothing here chaining that's going to help it come through here. Oh, excuse me. I think all that rolling stirred up some dust. So what I do is I use a safety pin. It's just a little trick that I figured out. You just pop the safety pin into the corner, put your presser foot down, and then whenever you start sewing, gently pull on the safety pin, and it'll get it going. Now you don't want to have the corner sit on your feed dogs and have it grind away on it, or else it'll wear away at the fabric and you'll get a hole in the fabric, and you don't want that. And hopefully, yeah, I do have good posture. Fantastic. And just like with the quilting, when you do your binding, thank you very much, Amber. When you do your binding, make sure you have the correct posture as well. So your shoulders are back, your back is straight. Don't hunch over your sewing machine. If you hunch over your sewing machine, you will damage your back and damage your shoulders. So I'm pulling the pin out, taking my safety pin, popping that in there, and turning it. I just noticed I'm looking at my my little recent events thing, and the 14 bits popped up. So again, I didn't have to count it. It tells me exactly. That's funny. Oops. Would help if I put the presser foot down. I keep forgetting I've got to look up at that thing too and see if anyone has followed or now if anyone cheers. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to move that there so I see it better. There we go. Marley.
Marley's feeling better.
What?
Marley's feeling better.
Are you feeling... Marley's had a difficult couple days.
Because he pooped and peed.
You went outside and pooped and peed?
No.
Oh. He pooped and peed inside?
Yeah.
Oh, Marley. It's okay, baby. But at least you feel better. Marley has had a difficult few days. We don't know what's set him off lately. We think it's our neighbors that are building... Yeah, no, that was my whole thing. Outside, our neighbors are building a new deck. So I think that all of the construction sounds are scaring him. So he's had a difficult few days. He doesn't want to go outside at all. It's okay, baby. We have patience. We love you. like how, Oh, did you see him? I forgot. Marley. Come here. Oh, you can see this puppy cam. Puppy cam. Hi, baby. Is you good boy? You are. You are. Are you saying, look, the camera's right there. Say hi. Say. Hi. No. I know you're very pretty. You're a handsome doggy. He is. He's a fluffy one. It's, I like that instead of over the shoulder, it's a puppy. It's, my husband calls our 3 dogs, Big Buddy, Little Buddy, and Fuzzy Buddy. Can you tell which one he is? Yeah, he's very special. He's not very bright. He's one of those dogs. He doesn't know how to be a dog. So he still does not play with toys at all. Like, doesn't understand them. He looks at them, you squeak a toy, he's like, what is this thing? And as you see, we still have some accidents in the house every now and then. Alright, come here, baby, you want a treat? Oh, damn it, I said that too loud. I'm listening. I hear the dogs upstairs. We make sure that the dogs aren't coming down before I give them something. So, Soleil, my Papillon, cannot be given anything, any bones or treats or anything over a certain size because she likes to swallow them whole. She's very greedy. And she swallows them, so I have to be very careful because I have, I've got greenies sitting here that I give to him and I give to Alfred, but I have to make sure that Soleil doesn't hear and she doesn't come down at all when I do it because she can't have them because she tries to swallow them whole. Are you happy? Yeah, I think I've met a lot of cats that thought they were dogs in past lives. Alright, after I get these pins out, I am almost done. I just need to hand sew my label on there. And once I hand sew my label on, I will show you guys my Loki inspired quilt. I still don't know a name for him yet. I was going to call my Mega Man inspired one Rocket Man. But then Nicole thought of Mega Android. I'm like, yeah, no, Mega Android. I kind of like that. Alright, my brand new labels. Dun, 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 dun. Aren't they cool? I love these things. They're so cool. So I've got to make sure I'm putting it on the bottom of the quilt. The Pac-Man quilt that I have. Yeah, the label's at the top. I put it on backwards. So, the reason why I can't stick it in there, so the other labels that I have more of a margin on the right and on the bottom. So if I actually do the same thing for this one, it cuts off the superpowered quilt and it cuts off the eye, the end and the eye off here. So I actually have to add it on afterwards and hand sew it on, but it just takes a few extra minutes. I've just got to make sure the area is nice and clean. There we go. And I'm going to double the thread up just for extra reinforcement. Let's make sure, oh, I did go through. I've just got to make sure I just go through the backing. I don't go through both layers. Come on. Shouldn't be this hard to tie a knot. There we go. I like the... You know what? Asgardian Prince is actually kind of cool. Ooh. Huh. I like it. That is nice. All right. I'm going to talk to Nicole about that one. He may have to be Asgardian Prince. I like that one a lot. Now, I purposely left this big, huge tail on here, and you'll see why whenever I finish stitching this. Oh, hi, Iron Band Scram. How are you? I just finished quilting and binding Loki, and I used my new Bias by the Yard, which I am obsessed with, and I love so much. And it was super easy. Now, I know Iron Band Scrim, you're down south. What area do you live in again? Alright, as I sew here, I'm going to flip this upside down. So I always have that, because I don't want to sew this crooked. Okay, South Carolina. Alright, I'm not doing anything there. For some reason, I was thinking Tennessee, because there is, there's a chance I may be doing a convention in Nashville next month. I haven't made a decision yet. I keep going back and forth on it. So all of the newer quilts that I have made all have this new label on there, all the pieced ones. All the panel ones will continue to have my old label until the old label is run out. There we go. All right, and then see with this big thing here, now I make my nice little knot. I know I should be using a quilter's knot. For the life of me, I cannot figure it out. Like, I have tried, I have had people explain it to me and show it to me, and I just can't seem to get it. Let's do one more, and then I will trim it. Oops. That wasn't one more. What are you doing to me, Tony? That's the nice thing with the double. I don't have to worry about the pin falling off. Alright, that is all knotted up. There we go. And my label is sewn on. Come on. Oh, other side. There we go. Right, move that one back over. Alright. Loki is finished. Dun da da da. Let me move this out of the way. Do, 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 do. He is done. That turned out pretty good. I like the gold that I picked. I know Nicole wanted me to do a darker gold, but yeah, I like this one. He's pretty cool. All right, so he will be available, this pattern will be available in
August. But quilt will be at AwesomeCon, and if it doesn't sell, it will be, yes, I used the Moda marble binding, and I loved it. If I don't sell it at AwesomeCon, it will be at Too Many Games. So, yay. Alright, let me switch my machines back again because I am going to quilt the Catan quilt. So I finished Catan. I finished the top. So here's my Catan, and it's all sandwiched out. So I'm ready to quilt that. No, it's a single fold bias. It is, so Moda has come out with Quilter's bias binding, where it's just a single fold binding. And that's normally what I do anyways. It's just a regular single fold binding. It comes in marbles, grunge, and Bella Solid. I bought the entire line of the marbles, plus a few extras of the black. And they also have a really cool display thing that I got too. It is folded. It is 1 1/4. So cut 2 1/2. That's what I normally use too, is 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 cut, folded once. If it doesn't sell, that's funny. It's Loki. Yeah. It is Loki. No one. It's why I actually haven't made a Loki quilt for the longest time. I've been fighting it because, yeah. No one loves Loki. All right, now. What I'm going to do is I'm playing with a brand new thread. I actually played with it on my sandwich this morning. Where is it on here? See, I can't even find it on here. There it is. Okay, so you see the thread. I know, there you go, that's a nice angle. You see the thread right here. I actually also quilted this area here. You can kind of see it a little bit. That's invisible thread. It is cool. I was playing with it. Yeah, invisible thread. So, I was thinking I'm going to quilt this area with invisible thread, which is like a regular meander kind of all over. And then this I'm going to quilt with blue thread, and I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet. I'll let you guys pick. I'm either going to do bubbles or waves. So, and this works. I didn't know if this would work or not with having it in the bobbin. So, invisible thread in the bobbin. And this is an art quilt, so it will never be used as an actual quilt. It would just be hung on the wall. And invisible thread in the top. And the invisible thread I'm using is the Superior Mono Poly Invisible Monofilament Extra Fine Polyester. They have it in this, and they have black. So they've got a black-faced one. This is what I was talking about whenever I said I got the invisible thread for its spring quilt market. It was this stuff. Now, the only thing, because it's so thin, it is strong though. Because it's so thin, my automatic threader won't thread it. So I've got to do it I've got to do it myself. Here we go. Now, and I've got to be very careful when I start it, because I've got to kind of start in here. I have to make sure that I really anchor that in there. So I'm thinking what I may do is give it a couple of stitches. You always have to have a game plan when you do your quilting. So I'm thinking I'm going to give it a couple of stitches. I'll start at the bottom. I'll give it a couple of stitches, and then I'm going to go around in a circle here, and then anchor it in again. And I'm just going to do a meander, like I normally do. Just thread coming through.
boy. Come here. Come here. Let's do the puppy cam. Was you a good boy? Did you eat your whole thing? Was it good? All right, I can't pet you with the gloves on. Come here. You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Marley. Yes, you are. Are you being cute for the camera? But you have to come over here. Right here. They can't see. There you go. You're being cute for the camera. Look up here. Sorry, it's cute. All right, I gotta go. I gotta sew, so you gotta move. You can't be by my pedal. I don't have anything else. I'm not gonna give you anything else. All right, over here. Come on. Here. Marley, here. Move your bum. Oh, move your bum. Thank you. There we go. Good boy. Don't get on my pedal. I always went. That's the first thing I do with my dogs. Is I try to get them to learn how to pose. I know you're very cute. Okay, so start here. I'm going to go around, and then I'm just going to do a meander. You know what? I'm going to do a wavy. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a wavy line back and forth this. No, I'm going to go this way. Because I'm going to do. All right, I'm thinking blue waves going this way. So I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do the opposite in the. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I like how I'm talking out loud saying this, right? That's so cool! Alright, so if my thread breaks, I'm not going to be able to tell. Is my thread still in there? I think so. Yes, okay. This is the coolest thing. Now, the spool of thread says it is very heat resistant, even to irons. So that tells me if I wanted to use invisible thread in a quilt that would actually be used in the quilt, it would be fine. Alright, I'll see you later on Bandsgram. I'm so excited about this. Okay, so there's no way you can see this on the camera. Okay, that's all quilted. So basically, all you see is the hint of it. You don't even see... You see the hint of the thread, but you don't see any threads at all. You just see the wavy designs. That is so cool. Let me see if I can... Yeah, see, I can't even angle it in a way that you can even see the wavy design a little bit. You can barely... Oh, you know what? Maybe you can see the back. No. Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see the design, but there's no color because it's invisible. Sorry, I'm excited about that. Okay. So that's finished. Alright, so initially I was thinking about doing waves in blue across through here. So should I do waves or should I do bubbles? What do you guys think? Think about it. Let me know while I switch the thread and put the blue in. Blue, 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 blue. Where'd I put you? Oh, there he is. And do I have a bobbin made with you? Oops, no, don't fall. I think that is it. Nope. That's it. See? Okay, pick one. Waves or bubbles? initial thought was the bubbles, but I'm like, oh, maybe waves are cool. Yeah, no, that's why this is, I'm probably never going to sell this quilt. I'm going to use it as an example because I'm going to sell these kits for, you know, for making the mini Catan quilt. And this is my example for Gen Con because I'm teaching this class. So, okay, so bubbles. So the bubbles like this, right? Okay, let's do bubbles. I have never done bubbles. Ever. So this will be the first time. Oh, there. I couldn't find my gloves. All right. I'm going to start it at the corner. All right, so, you know what? I'm going to practice. I'm going to practice on my sandwich. See, that's what sandwiches are for. That's why the invisible thread persimmon, I'm like, you know what? I want to try this. This is the perfect thing to try it on. And so I'm like, everyone says you have to have another thread in the bottom. Can I use it for the top and bottom? Probably not, but let me try. And I played with it, and I'm like, oh, I can totally do that. So yeah, just make a sandwich and play with it. All right, what do you think? Oh, you can't see in the camera. I was sticking it all the way. Oh, let me turn this light on. There you go. Now you can see it. What do you think of the bubbles? Good? There we go. Now I can do it in there. I think it's the right size. See, we just kind of have a hint of it. Okay, I'll do bubbles. And you notice how the light here, it's touch sensor. It's not heat sensor, so I can touch it with my gloves. All right, I am comfy. They actually call these pebbles in quilting groups. I like to call them bubbles. I see them in a lot. I'm going to unpin these as I go. I see them in a lot of things, but I've never had a need to do them myself. They do take a long time. Takes a long time, and it takes a lot of thread. So I have to make sure that I stop at regular intervals. Man, I wish you could see. Okay, I'm moving the camera. All right, close your eyes. I am doing this. I want you to try to be able to see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. remove this. Okay. And there we go. You still can't see it, but at least you can see a close-up of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay. I'm going to lower this. Still not done. Keep your eyes closed. I don't want to make anyone sick. No, now it's not. Now it's not high enough. Dang it. That should be good. You can actually see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Fantastic. Okay, better. The problem with it when it was that high is it was actually by my foot right there. Okay. Oh, I was gonna check the bobbin thread. Nope, I'm good. This pin out. I should update my description to say I'm working on the Catan quilt now. Yeah. Let me do that first. Edit. Done. That way if anyone else pops up, I'll still keep the picture of Loki up there though. They'll be like, what's she doing? That doesn't look like Loki. And I'm getting low in my bobbin. You know what? I'm actually going to stop here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's better. You can kind of see it a little bit. I've tried to match the thread as best as I could. And I go through so much, I'm actually going to wind 2 bobbins. So, tomorrow's stream, the daytime stream, I may be able to get the whole thing finished, start to finish, in one stream. I'm excited. I want to tell you guys what it is, but I can't till tomorrow. Oh, and the drawing for the Mega Android is at 1 o'clock as well. So when I start my Twitch stream, I'm actually going to do my giveaway. So I'll do the giveaway actually as I'm streaming, and then I'll go right into the pattern design. I realized I was sticking my arm in front of the camera, and I don't want to do that, if I can help it. Because that's not good TV. I think I can... No, I don't want to get rid of the back. So, just to show you, this is the back of the quilt. So you can see the invisible thread for the centers here, and then you can see all the bubbles here. See, free motion quilting is all about just letting go and doing it. Just experiment. All right. I noticed the first few bubbles I did, I went around a few times, and now I'm more confident and I think it looks better, so I'm okay with just going around once or twice. I think the next quilt that I do bubbles on, I'll be better and better. So that's the thing, right? Practice. I should have picked bigger bubbles. Yeah. And it's just the surrounding. That's going to be so cool. And the thing that you can't really see, because I'm doing the little bubbles, it's actually puffing the Catan quilt out. So it's actually pushing down this area back here. Oh yeah, you can actually kind of see it in the camera. You see how this is kind of like lifting out a little bit? So what it's doing is it's causing a little bit of depth perception. So it looks like it's kind of an island, and that's what I wanted it to do. I'm excited that it's turning out pretty good. Now with the Catan kit that I am making, I am including this water fabric for the background. This way. I always make sure that I'm doing the path of least resistance, so I'm turning it as I'm going. And bobbin thread's still good. I may or may not have time for the border for this. Hopefully I do. I am going to bring it with me to Gen Con if anyone would like to see it, but I'm not going to have it for sale. Because I need it for my class. I'm at Gen Con. I'm going to bring it to Awesome Con if anyone would like to see it, if you're going. But it won't be for sale because I need it for my classes for Gen Con. Pin out, and I'm going to take a small break because I'm finding that I'm starting to hunch and my shoulders are starting to get stiff. So I'm stopping myself, stretching. There we go. Okay. So always try to catch yourself if you're not sitting with correct posture. You know what? I'm going to stop right there and take a picture. And I'm going to put this on my Facebook on Friday. Here we go. Or Saturday. One of those days. starting to get a little bit of cumbersome all the way up here, so I am going to shift it. So much better. Check my bobbin thread. Nope, still good. I've been thinking, after Gen Con, if I have this one for sale, what my price point would be. Because it's all hand done for the actual paper piecing. It's a hand stitched quilt. The kits I'm going to be selling for $30. And of course that's going to include your needle, your thread, your glue, everything you need except for scissors for your Quilting quilt. Thinking $100. Okay, I'm going to turn it and take this off. I noticed Imperial Girl just went off and switched over to me, so welcome to everyone watching on Imperial Girl's channel. I love her. I'm noticing with these bubbles, if I lose focus, I make little mistakes. Like the bubbles aren't actually bubbles, or they run into each other more. It's definitely something you've got to pay closer attention to than a meander. Remember what I said earlier, whenever I quilt my lap quilts, how I kind of can lose focus a little bit, it kind of meander all over the place? Yeah, can't do that with this one. I'm purposely in some areas going over top of the actual Quilting quilt itself to make it look like the water is lapping up on the beach. At least that's what I'm going to tell people. It's not because I went too far and made a mistake. When you you make mistakes in your quilts, own it. Say you did it on purpose. And it was the artistic decision. Because, yeah. I'm gonna keep it that way. It's funny, as I'm sewing really close to my hand, I'm reminded of the picture that I put up earlier in the week. Oh, I think I put it on my personal page. I don't think I put it on the Quiltoni page. I sewed my finger 3 years ago. And I had to go to the hospital. Because I did the knee-jerk reaction of pulling my finger, which shattered the needle in my finger. You know, I sewed the finger and it went like that. Yeah, shattered the needle. So I had to go to the hospital and they had to dig it all out. And that did stop me from quilting. That actually was on my embroidery machine. Yeah, it hurt. The ow. Yeah, that hurt. Whew. Almost done with bubbles. I love my Catan quilt. My Catan mini quilt. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion of the bubbles. I was wishy-washy on the bubbles and the waves. I am really liking the bubbles. This is looking really cool. And that Catan portion of it is really starting to pop out. I love it a lot. Love it a lot. So if, for all of you that just joined me, if, this is what I do. I just quilt design. Tomorrow I've got a daytime. Marley, the cat doesn't want to play with you. Come here. Oh, that's right. You can't be on camera anymore because I moved it. I've got the new pattern design tomorrow. I appreciate on Love All Follows. If you just want to click the little follow button, I appreciate it. Yeah. So hopefully I get this done. I think I'll have time because it's only 7:20. I should have time to do the binding on this. This should be nice and fast. You can help me decide on what color binding to do. I also put all of my videos on YouTube the next day. So if you ever want to go back and watch a technique I do over and over, you don't have to worry about Twitch removing it. It'll be on my YouTube. Oh, you know, let me check my bobbin thread. Ooh, I'm starting to run low. Okay. Let me work my way over to the edge. And change the bobbin thread. Yeah, so I normally use one bobbin, maybe a bobbin and a half for standard lap size quilt. That shows you how much sewing and quilting I'm putting into this because I'm on my third bobbin. Marley, the cat does not want to play. I know, you're very cute. I know you're very happy and you want to play with that cat. I know, I love you. I'll have you say goodbye to everyone before I log off. It's so funny because his bark is like a smoker's bark. You know what? I'll be honest. Part of me was leaning towards the waves because I've never done bubbles before and I wasn't sure how it would turn out. It's actually easier than I thought it would be. I took a class with Jenny Lyons about 1.5 years ago on pre-motion quilting, on doing designs and things. And she taught us how to do the bubbles. And it's the only time I've ever even played with it a bit at all. I'm gonna have to take a picture of this and send it to her. I think she would be proud. That's awesome. Marley made your cat jump. That is fantastic. Alright. My Catan quilt is done. It is quilted. Now, you want to see the back? This is the cool thing. That's the back. So you can actually see all of those bubbles. And then you can see the invisible thread in here. Isn't that neat? Yeah. Fantastic. Wow, this is really... Sorry, I'm like amazed with this. I'm just like, I'm pretty proud of this. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's switch machines again. So, ignore that camera. Because I'm going to back it up for a minute. So don't get sick. There we go. I'm just going to set you back there. I'm just making sure no one... Okay, just making sure no one made a comment. There we go. Yeah, you can watch my iced tea and my computer for a minute. This is the only problem with having that machine set up for just quilting and not random things too, for not piecing and binding. Now, I cannot turn this light off because cheap machine, so you can't do some things with it. There you go. Okay, that should be good. Now, scissors. Where are my more scissors? Oh, I put them over there. Now all I'm doing is trimming it right along
I'm trimming it right along the edge. I may make a few more mini quilts. This is actually fun. And there. All trimmed. Alright, now for binding. Let's move that back a little bit so you can see that. I've got, see, I don't think black would look good with that. Let me move this back just a touch. There we go. I think that's better. Alright, so we've got black. Could do the dark green. Pie! Ooh. Oh, hey, and woo, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. I didn't even see that. I appreciate that. I've got... Dang it, Amber, now I want pie. Thanks. I've got a brickish red. I don't think it's the right red, though. No. Okay, no red. No, that's too bright. That's purple. See, I think that blue is... No, I don't like that blue. Okay. And that's a purpley blue. No. Alright, so. Options are... See, I don't know if I like the black. I guess we got black in the sheep ears. So there's gray. Let's put it along the edges. So we've got gray. We've got, stay up there. Green. Gray. Green. Or black. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right, Stitch. Okay, let's go gray. Yeah, I just don't like how that black looks. Okay. Where is my holder? Haha. This is now my binding holder. Oh, and 1/4 inch foot. Now, here's the dilemma. What color? I'm thinking I'm going to match it to the binding. So, I already have a light gray wound for the bobbin, so I'm going to use that for the bobbin. Because the bobbin's not going to matter too much. There. Oh, come here. Silly thread. What is stuck? Oh, it's caught in the foot. There we go. Okay, so black away. And I need a medium gray color. Like maybe that one. Perfect. Yep, I like that one. Yes, I did just throw the thread on the floor. Because my little wastebasket thing fell and I haven't just picked it up. I've just left it there. I need to pick it up though. Okay, now I'm doing it on the bottom. Now you should be able to see this better from the angle. Oh, I almost did it again. I gotta fold my edge. Oh, and I kicked. Dang it. Sorry. That's what I get. Alright. Alright, now you should be able to see it. Now all I'm doing is I'm taking the edge here. In fact, I'll do it right here. I'm taking the edge here, and all I'm doing is I'm folding it over and ironing it to making sure that I don't have a raw edge. And I should have done that on the Loki quilt. But I was just so anxious and excited to go, oh, I have binding, it's ready, let me go. Oh, it's not warm yet. See, this is the problem. I've got my machine right there. I need to shift it. I'm just waiting for it to warm up. And you already know how to flip it over and do the corners and things like that. Or I may just do it right here. I may just move the machine up and flip it all right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Alright. If I'm going to do that... There we are. Oh, you can see the whole thing, so you can see what I'm doing there. There we go. Okay. Now, my edge is good. I'm just going to make sure I don't block your view with my awesome bias binding. Single fold. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the center. My center is right there. Yes. Oh. That would help if I did the right stitch. That's the only problem with these machines too, is they don't remember the last stitch you did. Okay, now, I've got this edge here, so I'm taking this, and I'm moving it away from where I'm going. And I've got a 45-degree angle here. I'm holding it, and I'm taking it, and then folding it back. And then I'm lining it up right here, so I have a nice straight edge. Turning. So I'm holding it so it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to start sewing about a 1/4 inch from the end.
So the first time I put binding on something, I made some placemats. They were really cute placemats, and I made great binding. Like, I love this binding. I put it on backwards. So instead of having the raw edge meet up with there, I had the ironed edge meet up. So the raw edge was sticking out. Yeah, I've never used those placemats. And I never undid the binding on it. Now remember, for the edges, I'm stopping and starting about a 1/4 inch from the edge. I love this. Well, apparently there's a dog outside. Or someone is here. Hi, Marley, you came back. So last corner, I'm moving it away, so I have a 45-degree angle, holding it, and then folding it to, oh, my brother-in-law's here. And then turning. Okay, and then again, starting at a 1/4 inch from the edge. And I'm going to stop a finger away from where I am. I'm going to trim that because I need to prepare this. So I'm trimming up all of the thread. Okay, now what I want to do is cut it about there. And that can go back. Okay, remember I do the tuck method, so I do the fold and tuck. So I take this right here, and I take this one, and I just tuck that in there, and fold it over. Oh, it's gotta be straight. You can feel if it's like right there, I feel a bump. So I can tell something is not straight in there. Something is folded too much. Sometimes it's easier than other times. There we go. Now I've got it. Now I'm going to go back and redo some of the stitching I did over here. There we go. And binding is all on. Alright, let me move this away, and I will flip it and do my actual pinning right here. Where are my pins? I stuck them somewhere. Oh, right here. Alright, and then I need this, although there shouldn't be any hair, because I haven't done anything with it. But you never know. Okay, because it's a small one, I'm actually going to go through and flip all the corners first. Just to get it out there. Oops. I'm going to trim these corners with the thread. Okay, so let's flip these corners. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to do the bottom first. Yeah, I still don't want to use my clips. Habits, right? Okay. There we go. Get that in there. There we go. Because the quilting is so tight here, it's actually a little harder to do the binding. Yeah, Persimmon, the solid binding that's at your local quilt shop, that is those are the solids that I'm moving to for backings. Right now I use Kona, which is, I believe, Robert Kaufman. But when I was at Quilt Market, I actually felt the Bellas. And for me, the Bellas are a little bit less expensive, but I think they're a better quality. Because with Moda, I can buy directly from them, and I don't have to go through a distributor like I do with Robert Kaufman and some of the others. So there's no middleman. Go. Now, I don't know if I pointed this out before, but you notice how this pin is actually facing a different direction. So all these pins are facing out, and this pin in the corner is facing in. The reason why I do that, as I'm actually doing the stitch in the ditch around the edges, I can pull this at the corner so I can use my safety pin to go in and actually, pull it and help it. How's it looking on the front? Oh, it looks pretty good. Yeah, stitch, I think that was gray was the right decision. I like it. Ow. I just shoved it into my finger. And I'm not bleeding. That's the thing I care about if I'm bleeding, right? Because I don't want to bleed on the quilt. I have abused my fingers and my hands so much from quilting through the years. By cutting myself, stabbing myself, jabbing myself. I don't bleed a lot anymore. I think my hands are used to it by now. That's cool. I'm just looking at that. It looks like it's a black hole with the invisible thread. Okay, last row. Now you notice I don't do the corners until I do the area on either side of the corners. The reason is it's actually easier to lay down the corners when the other two sides are already fixed. And I'm actually going to do it that way. I folded that one opposite because it was just easier. You know what? I never thought about that. But you're absolutely right. So you can see, if you look closely, you can see how a lot of my bubbles, whenever I went around a couple of times, I didn't quite get it, like right there. Kind of overlap a bit. It's not bad for my first try at bubbles. I'm sure every time I do it, I'll get a little bit better. Yeah, you can really see that on the back. Not so much on the front because it kind of blends in. There we go. All right, that is all pinned. Thank you very much. I'm just stretching it and laying it flat before I do the final stitches. Now, you see how that bubbles up automatically? That's because of all the tight quilting I did in the background and the loose quilting that I did in the center. So what it's doing is that's really cool. You can kind of see how it's popped up the middle. So it's really kind of almost 3D'd it. That's a trick that Jenny taught me. Alright. I need my J-foot. And I am almost done with my stream for the day. Where did I put my pins? You know what? There we go. It looks like it was a little loose on the bottom, so I wanted to make sure it was really in there. Let's turn that. Yeah, you can hear when I hit the pins. You're not supposed to sew over your pins. That was my obligatory do as I say, not as I do. Now I'm going to trim my thread over here. There we go. Pull a pin. pins out of there. I'm not gonna, since it's 7:51, I'm not going to sew on the label while I'm streaming. I'll do that later tonight. Now, when I pull out my pins, I'm also looking at my binding to make sure that I've captured all of it, that I haven't accidentally made the binding stitches a little bit too big and not captured it. So, like, right there, it's kind of right along the edge, but it's captured it, so I don't have to worry about it. Now, if I stitch down here, I'd have to restitch that. So, Catan mini quilt is done! Yay! Catan mini quilt is done. And the back. I'm happy. I like it. I think it's cool. Yay! So, this is the class, one of the classes I'm teaching at Gen Con. I'm excited. Thank you guys! I appreciate it. So yeah, so like I said, if you're going to AwesomeCon, I will bring this with me if you actually want to see it in person, if you want to look at all the stitching. Feel free to look at it, inspect it. I don't care. I love you guys. But it's not for sale. Not until at least after Gen Con. And then I gotta figure out how much I would charge for it. So, my first real mini quilt, start to finish, that I've made. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can also use this as like a centerpiece. So, awesome. Alright, so that's it for today. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a special stream where I am doing my next pattern that's going to be coming out in October. This one is pretty darn cool. You may not want to miss this. So if you can't come in the stream, catch it on YouTube. And this one's going to be up on YouTube tomorrow, as soon as I get a chance. And then after tomorrow's stream, I'm either going to stream Friday during the day or Saturday during the day. I will do and work on t-shirt quilts, because I want to get all the t-shirt quilts finished so I can pin them all and get them ready for quilting while I'm down in Maryland. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I appreciate it. So I will see you guys tomorrow.